Neck training with the iron neck not only looks very cool, but it's super productive for your neck health, helpful with headaches and things like that. The only trouble is it is quite nuanced. Training your neck is not entirely dissimilar from the way we train other parts of our body, but it does demand some level of detail that we maybe don't have to apply when we're doing bicep curls. So first things first is I want this thing to be about eye level, or actually just about forehead level, so that this thing is tugging basically true, as opposed to if it's way down here and I'm technically pulling kind of like down on this or up on my head. So right at forehead level, and it should be pretty obvious. You can actually see the line, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking pretty good. So without going into the deep nuances of each movement, I'm going to give you some general characteristics of how they behave so that you can apply them to each one. So the first is, I want my shoulders to be down and back to the greatest degree possible. This basically makes sure that I'm not firing my neck from the back or from the front while also trying to move it. That can get pretty funky. I want to keep my neck free and clear by pulling my shoulders down. From there, each movement essentially abides by a plane. It's either my head going this way to this way, this way to this way, some combination of that, or it stays in place as I move my body. So a couple of examples of that. Pull my shoulders down and back in the sockets, take a little step back for some tension, and I'm just getting very simple rotations. And so the primary goal here is basically take my nose and create a perfectly straight line from shoulder to shoulder. Also what I'm trying to do is not move my body. This is probably the most difficult thing to do, is isolate the neck. I can't even tell you if I'm doing a very good job. Every time I film myself doing these things, I'm surprised at how much my shoulders travel. Your goal is to not travel at all. Other ones would include going down, nose to shoulder, and then up, nose over shoulder. Or going figure eight, so nose to shoulder, up to the opposing shoulder, down to the shoulder, and so forth. We've also got some different ranges of motion like protract and retract. Again, I'm trying to move nothing from basically the clavicle down, staying nice and braced in the lower body, push my nose forward, pull my chin back. Other ones tend to be a little more easy, as long as I'm generally braced in my body, making rotations. I don't really have to worry about where my neck is going because I'm not actively moving it. Likewise, as I reach back behind me, as long as my neck is fixed in place and traveling with my body, I'm good to go, as opposed to if I were to, I guess, somehow go like this, that would be kind of a funky adaptation of this. So generally what you're looking for is, what is the plane of motion? I like to use my nose as a guide. No matter what I'm doing, my nose is, I can kind of like just see it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm using that as a guide. Shoulders stay fixed in place, abs stay tight, and in general, less is more. I don't really need to yank on this thing like crazy. Just a bit of tension is all I need until I get strong enough where this doesn't feel like it's producing anything for me. Nuance, attention to detail, go slow, be patient. Your neck isn't as adaptive and resilient as your quads. It doesn't get strong as quickly, but it can get stronger and it can do good things for you in terms of your headache and posture and all that kind of good stuff.